Grand Rising, free people, Grand Rising, religion and its concept will always bring divide, and it will divide us as a people continually. Yeah, man, because I think it's a learned, it's a issue. People come teach you these things. Even so, if we can find common ground for unite, irrespective of a religious persuasion, then we will unite. It's like the concept or the idea of this Awak Indian nation, which was separate and distinct as a society, just like any and all other society. The government of Jamaica, as a corporate body politic, is a society, and it's separate from the Commonwealth or the United States. These are just examples. So if we can come together and choose to just create our own thing, where we remove ourselves from all other constructs, uniting as one body of people, group of people. If it's only 17 people, 5 people, 3 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, if we can structure and come together that way, I'm confident a lot of the issues that happen out there won't apply to us. It really won't. But to get everybody on one page, that will be the trick. That will be the work. Because here we are in our little simple group chat where we just exchange information. And we are put something together where around here, it's new. Because we're not come under a religious dictate or Christian dictate. I make a claim that I am here existing right here in this hemisphere before them start writing Bible. Before all of these things. That are my claim. Them stands there. I personally make, and when I make them stands there, I remove all of the other things that will come after, including Christianity and religion. So I say all of that for say this. We will never be able to unite. You know what I mean? Only because we have our own opinions, our own view of things, and our own religious or spiritual persuasion. Also, we never can look beyond these things and see yourself as man first. It's man. It's not just a commercial construct we are enslaved with. It is intertwined with the religious system. We are one. So people have to choose free will choice. Yeah, man. For you to stay apart of these things, constructs, these foreign constructs, or remove themselves from it and choose to stand up. I think the problem is the unknown. That's the problem. Yeah, man, the unknown. If we don't know who we are and what we are dealing with, then it don't make no sense to try even go out there and run our mouth. And this is why I say, when I find this lady aside, it have all of the information where we can use to edify our people. How I find this site, I go back in at some of my old notes and documents I create from 2018, that specific document. And from that document, I look on the information I have and I do the research and I go in on Google and see if I find anybody with it. And this is a lady who come say, you have other people may have this kind of information, but like when we are break it down in such a way where every man can look at the source, read for themselves, and come to their own conclusion. What is the definition of an American? I probably have to go do a little small tape and break down that and I share that information. At least it will be on record. This is why I present them information. It's not for the likes. It's not for the commercial, monetary thing. You know what I mean? It's not for the views per se. We just share the information, know, so I put it out there and my work is done. The work is done. But we, right here on this rock, have an opportunity to do something so unique. But we can only do it when the people and step up and choose free will to say, yeah, this is what I'm going to deal with. This is where we are part of. And we are remove ourselves from all other construct. But the only way. It's the only way. So it's a step-by-step process. It's a free will process. It's neither here nor there. Many shall be called, but it's only a few will be chosen. And them things are just nature. Who are you? Now we know we are not African. What are we? People afraid to say, hey, I'm American, according to how the construct is. Because we are in America. But people rather claim Jamaican proudly, which is fine. But you have to comprehend. So before this place was called Jamaica, it was called Santiago by foreigners. And before that, it was called Jamaica, Jamaica, all of these indigenous terms. However, it's only a region, a country within America. And this are the distinction our people kind of lacking. But as we move forward, I'm gonna stay consistent. I'm gonna stay resolute. It's just that I man can't do it alone. I man can't write these things alone. I man can't figure this thing out because we have it in our head and then we have to go place it in our places where it will cost some resource to get these things done. I man can't do all of these things alone. People have a tendency to come around here just for amass ideas and information and take it elsewhere. I'm quite aware of these things. People come around your thing to create their own networking, to divert people elsewhere doing other things. I'm going to give thanks when I get all of this kind of experience. So moving forward, at least we have knowledge of how our people is and human nature. This is why we say free will, because free will is just that. We will never unite. Yeah, man, we're not going to unite, not when we have so much, say, different belief system in play. And most people not have the belief what them having all of these other systems in themselves. How I know that? Because I'm up on the island here, I'm a jump in, I'm a automobile, I'm a travel, I'm a do these things. And I don't see a next man like I here try it or do it. But not saying a man do it. You understand? And them thing yeah, are a divine right, a movement. In a corporate body politic, government of Jamaica, now you can tell me I'm supposed to, I'm going to have to register no kind of property with them. Is a reason why the government of Jamaica never had registration of motor vehicles to them charges where them bring against me. And I would say, why is that? Because them can't force you to do nothing at all. You have to voluntarily consent, agree. Consent mean agree. You have to voluntarily agree, or them will trick you by way of deceptive means. Forget your assent, or forget your consent, or forget your agreement. They'll do that through trickery or because you lack knowledge. I will always be traveling. I won't be personally registering nothing at all. Me know that. It not apply to me. Me know that. But are the people ready for this? Absolutely not. We're not mature emotionally. Educationally, we only have one side eye. It's incomplete. So this is why I say that kind of information, yeah. Not necessarily I got the mainstream because the people not develop properly and they're not ready for it. So this is why you're going to only find, says, a handful of people really are going to step up and prepare themselves for, live this way, moving forward. Most other people will always be spectators. You get me? This is why you will watch TV and you have some people what them call heroes. The ones that will go out there and really make it happen. Galvanize a set, a group of people. We're going to move for that cause. So these people are called heroes. Notice, and not everybody become the hero. You always have to have a few who stand up out there and really put in the work. While spectators will benefit from any success. So, it's a step-by-step process. Yeah, man. I know it's not a big crowd that will do it. I always know that. Yeah, man. But if we have a crowd where unite, then all our problem over. In order to attain your freedom according to what people think it is, you have to attain correct knowledge. You have to know. You have to know so you can become. It's not just a belief. It's really not just a belief. So I'm going to pay attention to all of this religious persuasion. You understand? From I open my eye and know, say, yeah, we have the breath of life. That's when we give thanks. So it's an everyday thing for I. It's not, like the Muslim, it's on a Friday. Like the Adventist, it's on a Saturday. Like the Christian, Catholic, and all those other ones on a Sunday. And not that for me. A DRS is a DRS. Any day can be a DRS. The symbology of things is just that. But free will, people. Free will. Yeah, man.
Greetings, free people. Mic check. Yeah, man. We must give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature that guide our thoughts and our path in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. Give thanks and praise. I direct you back to this website. Nde Kahaya Shama. Yeah, man. And we're going to touch upon a couple of the words. We don't want to make it too long. I hope the voice, the mic not turn off. So here we go. American definition. This is from the author of this website. These American definitions are listed to provide additional clarity, honorable clarification to those reading the article contained within this website, because we don't want our readers to simply believe without providing at least a few verifiable sources. Gratitude, Sister Dr. Yafa Be. Yafa S.I. Be. Gratitude, our good sister. Now we have Aboriginal definition. Native, indigenous. I don't like the word indigenous, but indigenous. Autochthonous, autochthonal, autochthonic, original, primal, primeval, prehistoric, primary, prime, earliest, first, primitive, pristine. So this is, synonym finder. That's the source. Then we say Aborigine. These are words where we like using. Latin. Remember when the Moors of Spain come here and them called with Aborigines? That's because most of them was Latin speaking Spaniard. The Spanish language is actually Latin. From the very beginning, Latin means from the very beginning, from the source or origin. You can find this kind of breakdown in the Webster Encyclopedic Unabridged Dictionary of the English Language, 1996. And we have African, of or pertaining to the Negro in America, African. And then in 1818, Ferron Sketches 168, the three African churches, as they are called, are for all those Native American who are black or have any shade of color darker than white. And it's not this good sister said this. A Dictionary of American English and Historical Principles, Volume 1 by Sir William A. Carnegie and James R. Hulbert, 1942. So this is a source. And you can use this very source to look up African, Africanian, a Negro born in Africa, the native born colored race. Speak of these Africanians with much of the contempt with which Europeans speak of Negroes here in the Americas. So there them can check out this website. I think we have this definition on our AWAC network website. You know what I mean? America, also called the Americas, which is when them pluralize it. When them say the Americas are usually the indigenous set of people and bring forth this, but America is actually the continent. America, North and South America considered together. So this is America. So for my local people on the island here, but when them hear America and American, they might think about white man. No such thing. No such thing. This is America, and we are Americans. We are the true Americans. You have other people who come here and create their own corporation called the United States of America. And this is when the foreigners claim citizenship of the United States of America. And within the United States of America, they create a federal district called Washington, D.C., where they remove the original capital from Pennsylvania onto Washington, D.C. Now I mean, by way of Maryland and Virginia, right there in Washington, D.C. And from Washington, D.C., they create the United States. So you have citizens of the United States, just like how you have citizens of Jamaica. And then you have people that is outside of that who are citizens of the United States of America, but not a citizen of the United States. Just like how on the island here, you have Commonwealth, national, or citizens, but not a citizen of the government of Jamaica, or not a citizen of Jamaica. These are the distinctions my people have forget. You know what I mean? For honorable clarification. So the corporate body politic, United States, government of Jamaica, these are corporations. United States of America is such corporation, Commonwealth corporation. And we exist outside of all of that. We are American Indians because they usurp the term Native American. That has been usurped by foreigners. This is why when we say Aborigines, we are talking about the Negro stock here in America. Now I mean, and by extension, the foreigners will have intercourse with our native people here, which call themselves indigenous, which derive from us. It's just that. No different from what is known as Taínos. When the explorers and settlers came here, they didn't see any Taíno. They saw what is known as Awak. This is who we are. And from the miscegenation, they create what is known as Taíno. This is why indigenous is an international phrase used commercially. And they tried to remove what is known as Aborigines because it's too specific and distinct. I've always said it starts with one and the idea permeates out there. So from one derive many, not out of many derive one. We can try check out a couple of more of these definitions. Alright, even this side here. The author itself shares a tad bit from her library on how this hemisphere came to be called America. The red children of the sun, you probably can look up this, adore the plumped serpent, who is the messenger of the sun. He was a god, Quetzalcoatl, in Mexico. Gucumatz in Queche, and in Peru he was called Amaru. This is the same god, you know. The Latin name comes from our word America, Amaruca, like Amaru, the god, is literally translated land of the plumped serpent, the priest of this god of peace, from their chief center in the Cordilleras, once ruled both Americas, meaning North and South America. Now, what am I talking about right here, sir? When you research the great law of peace, you're going to see where there was a group of people here where form a confederacy together to bring peace right across this landmass. However, them information kind of put to the side, so you have to go really do your research. All right. The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall is one of them book that will give you a whole lot of information. All right. It's a chapter on American symbolism. What is that? You see the chapter right here, aka 193. Paragraph on the Popal Va. Popal Va, that is our next ancient book, our next book, where I break down a lot of things. It seems to me, the author of this page, Yafa Beth, that the name was stolen by Amerigo Vespucci to cause confusion, because if America had been named after Mario van Vespucci, as opposed to his king or queen, then it would have been Vespuccia in honor of his family name. In other words, we would not call this place America, we would not call it Vespuccia. So we now follow nobody and talk about America, that name that come from some Amerigo Vespucci, some Italian sissy. We don't have no interest in them things. We define the words what we use. American, and again, American Dictionary of the English Language. A native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals. It doesn't say the indigenous. These are the 1828 definition, you know. And it has said a native. This is before these people were usurped this thing. A native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans. A member of an aboriginal race of the North American continent, which Jamaica right here is a sub-region of the North American continent. Type into Google countries in North America, where you'll see Jamaica, including all the rest of the so-called Caribbean islands. An American Indian. So when you say who is an American, it can mean an American Indian, which is us. Yeah, man. I'm not going to run this too long. Let me catch a couple more definitions. But I advise people to go through this thing. Colonization. The sending of Negroes away into colonies in Africa or elsewhere. And I must remind you guys that in 1811, a businessman named Paul Coffey, working with the United States Agency, sent 48,000 American Aborigines to Africa. And that was in 1811. And in 1816, the American Colonization Society sent 12,000 American Aborigines, that's the Negro stock, to Africa and created the state that's called Liberia. And that's to colonize that place. And these are documented facts. People can do this basic research. Colonizationism, the sending of Indian tribes into reservation established for them. Colonizationism, the sending of Indian tribes into reservation established for them. And again, you just check out this dictionary. Notice how we were being sent away from America, not the other way around. So this is why we say the transatlantic slave trade narrative has been told in reverse. There's no such thing as them export slave from Africa to this landmass. It never happened like that. What them do is relocate it from different islands here, because America is what is known as an archipelago. You know what I mean? Even on the mainland, California is an island, Manhattan is an island, you know what I mean? It's all connected by bridges over there. So what them do is move from the mainland to the islands, from the islands to the mainland, and mix us up. So all of them things we have to balance these story. And for my local people here, pay attention. You know what I mean? Avoid too much of the distractions. Just pay attention. Colonizationism. These are things when I hear Michael Manley, the ex-prime minister of this land, talk about. Colonialism, neo-colonialism, and imperialism. So colonizationism is a policy of ameliorating the condition of the Negroes by sending them into colonies elsewhere, chiefly in Africa. And we just explained these things. Again, they were sending us into Africa, not taking us away from Africa. Colored of a dark-skinned African race. In census tables, etc., the term is often used to include Indians, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, etc. Colored of a dark-skinned Indian. Dark-skinned Indian. Proves that colored was Indian and dark-skinned Indians. Continent. So my yard people, now listen. Continent, one of the main landmass of the globe, usually reckoned as 7 in number. Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and Antarctica. So that's all the continent that says there. Continent, a continuous tract or extent as of land. So when we say Jamaica is a sub-region of continental America, this is what we're talking about. So may I open University of the West Indies people, I take note. You get me? Because some of these curriculums need adjusting. Country, a region associated with a particular tribe of Indians or a specific place or river. Country, a state or nation, the territory of a nation. Country, tract of land, terrain, nation, realm, royal dominion or territory. Native land, homeland, fatherland, mother country, land of one's birth, ancestral home, roots. So, these are some of the definitions. Indian, a member of one of the native tribe found by explorers and settlers in America. 1553 of the West Indies. Gratitude. Complete gratitude. So what is an Indian? An Indian can be a member of one of the native tribes found by explorers and settlers in America, 1553 of the West Indies. Or it can be a white man disguised as an Indian for the purpose of committing violence. Check the usurpation by white man disguised as Indians, because the disguise is still being worn today. And me even talk that all the time. So when you watch the TV narrative, the CIA theater, you go, sis, the man them are the people where play the Indian is the very same people where play the cowboy. You understand? The very same foreigners. And this is a usurpation. Let me use images to manipulate your psyche. Yeah, man. So these are those words and definitions where one can, take them time. Indian land, a piece of land or district occupied or formally occupied by Indians. So right here, where they are Indian land. As a web page writer, this is Dr. Yafabe. I say that since we formerly occupied the entire Western Hemisphere called America, then it stands to reason that the whole thing is still Indian land by definition, despite the fact that we were forcibly removed from many sites or habitat, but we never left this landmass. Indian nation. An Indian nation is a tribe of Indians. Indian territory in all capital name. And I'm give you some definition of the Indian offices and Indian scalp. This is when the government pay their foreign agents to take away our locks, our wool, for scalp us. And them pay £40 should be given for every Indian scalp. And this are the same government where people are worship right now. And then we define Indian territory, we define Indian title, a legal right to possession of land derived from the original landowners. So you say, when all the attorneys here on the island are usurp and claim property with information where them derive, then again, you as Awak Indian maintain superior claim once you become cognizant of who and what you are. Yeah, man. Indigenous, this is a word where I'm not really getting a rating. It's only through my basic, But it's a native, endemic, endemical, original, aboriginal, and all of the rest are autochthonous, autochthonal, autochthonic, intrinsic, inherent, hereditary, inherited in the blood, in the family. So this is what I must say indigenous is. But the webpage author personally dislike this word, as do I, because on the wrong side it also means indigenous, also means inbred, indigent, needy, and not worthy. However, the author, Dr. Yafabe, utilize the word indigenous for the international recognition it holds and the treaties that it is written within. Even so, the author says she will never like this word. So do I. Because internationally, them recognize indigenous. Internationally, they ignore aborigines. Ask yourself this question, why is that? Because on the international stage, it's what is called artificial. It's the commercial realm. So they have to identify anything and everything in a commercial aspect. But we say we are aborigines. That's what we say. And you have Kahaya, where she break down turtle, and she said this is our own creation blending, and we give thanks for our light. We love the creativity. We get to land, definition, any part of the earth's surface not covered by a body of water, that is land. The part of the earth's surface occupied by continents and islands, that is land. The people of a region or country, that is land. A realm or domain can be considered land. Again, land, earth, ground, terra firma, dry land, solid ground, country, nation, homeland, motherland, native land, fatherland, dominion, people are all considered land, area, region, empire. Now we look at a word, nation, older sense preserved in application to North American Indian peoples. So that's what nation means. So when we say Awak Indian nation, we are talking specifically about we in the North America area. You get me? And here is the definition where 1640s, etymologyonline.com. And you'll see Sunday, January 1, 2017. Mountain timeline internet search for nation. What is a native? A native is an American Indian. A native is a Negro. That's a native. Native American, a member of the Native American Party. So you talk about a whole different set of people now. You understand? These are the usurpation of the foreign Mongoloids people. The establishment of a party in New York who call themselves Native American. Their professed object is to counteract the growth of Irish influence. They declare themselves Native American, meaning by that term to advocate a repeal of all naturalization laws and the elevation of none but American-born citizens to office. In names of organizations representing political opposition to aliens and foreign-born citizens and to Catholic. All of them things are there in a dictionary of American English and historical principles. You can look in a them dictionary. Let me see if I can snatch another word before with people. The Negro felon on a plantation, the body of Negro slave on a plantation or under one's owner or under one owner. So when I say people, you talk about the Negro field hands on a plantation. When you say nigger, you talk about a dark-skinned person of any origin. In early US use, usually with reference to African, usually with reference to American Indian. Negroes are usually reference to American Indian. So the American Indian usually, them call it nigger. So this is what we are looked on. They them can go through these things, and I like the platform, I like the information, because we're not unfamiliar with this particular set of information. But what would I love to do is have it a move where my common people can at least have access. Yeah, man. Salute. Big scope. Salute. Hawa. Salute. So I do step by step. Again, just a voice in the wilderness. I share the basic information for common folk here on these West Indian islands. So we can have our own little point of view of things, so we can come to our own conclusion. Separate and distinct. We are Aborigines. We are first people, first nation. We are Awak Indians, along with many other American Indian tribes. Yeah, man. So this is who we are. This is where we are. This is what we are. This is how we are. Step by step, people. Gratitude for the time. Gratitude for the presence. The brave may fall, but never yield. And we, as Awak Indian nation, we said bold and brave, firm and strong. Gratitude.